Prime Minister has acknowledged that numbers are high, but says they're within the parameters forecast by scientists which are advising the government. Well, earlier on, I spoke to Birmingham Hospital consultant Dr. David Nicholl from the Doctors Association, which campaigns on behalf of patients and medical professionals.
We really should be taking action now. Very simple measures that could happen now, such as wearing a mask, and it's just depressing that isn't happening yet. And my colleagues, not just in secondary care but also in primary care, are under really huge amounts of pressure, and we just don't feel supported by the government when cases are going up.
So things like compulsory mask wearing, COVID passports, you'd like a return to that?
Well, none of us want to see lockdown. I mean, really, none of us want to go back to that. And there's simple measures we can take now, such as wearing, masks on public transport or in any crowded area. And I have to say, I think there's been a willful lack of leadership, really, from the government on this. And, it's pathetic when you see the way the MPs are acting. In fact, I was looking at this, that, you'll get told off by the Speaker if you're a male MP for not wearing a tie, but no action if you don't wear a mask. What message does that say to the country?
Those sorts of restrictions could, of course, have an adverse impact on businesses like hospitality and entertainment, which have suffered hugely, couldn't they?
Not necessarily. I mean, a couple of weeks ago, I went to an event at the NEC. There were probably 20,000 people there. I was one of probably 10 people wearing a mask. I could have enjoyed my day perfectly well wearing a mask.
The vaccination programme has broken the link between infections and deaths. So isn't the government right to focus on booster jabs and vaccinations for young people rather than restrictions, which could be very damaging?
No, this has been the problem throughout, is we focus on one thing and we end up with a very, single-minded debate of masks or not masks or vaccines. You need to be doing all of those things, okay? People may have got bored with COVID, but COVID hasn't gone away. So yes, it's really important if people haven't got vaccinated to get vaccinated, and if they get asked to have a booster, get a booster. But it isn't just that, because we know with the Delta variant it's much more transmissible, and there are those people in our families and communities who maybe have other conditions who won't get such a good response with the vaccine, that actually you're helping to protect them when you wear a mask.
Dr. Nicholl, thanks very much for talking to us this evening.